Hey, everybody's joining in. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or good evening, depending
Hey,
on where you are joining us from across Canada. Welcome, and thank you so much for choosing to spend your Saturday with us. I know weekends are precious, and so the fact that you are here tells me that you're serious about investing in your career. And that's exactly the kind of mindset that leads through breakthroughs. I'm Jigar Kanjani with Supply Chain Canada West, and I'm thrilled to be your host for today's session. The session number one that we have today is LinkedIn Makeover, Be the Supply Chain Professional Recruiters Hunt Down. With this session one out of our three-part career development series, and whether you are a searcher right now, exploring new opportunities, or just want to make sure you're visible when the right opportunity comes along, you are in the right place today. Before we dive in, I want to share a quick video with you. This is from our recent 2025 National Conference in Calgary, a gathering of over 400 supply chain professionals from across Canada. What you're about to see is what showcases Supply Chain Canada and its association, what it is all about. Bringing professionals together, advocating for better supply chain excellence, and strengthening Canada's supply chain professional. Because here is the thing, your career isn't just about what you know, it's about who you know. And that's what really matters. Sarah, with that, can we please play the video?
uh, yep.
When 400 plus supply chain professionals from across Canada gathered in Calgary, something extraordinary happened. It all began with the Procurement Professional Open.
In a world where supply chain professionals are required to be so planful and precise, what a wonderful way to kick off the conference by going beyond the boardroom, going beyond the screen, by having fun at the Supply Chain Canada's Procurement Professionals Golf Tournament.
As the sun set over the Rockies, our kickoff reception brought together the voices that move Canada's economy.
This year's theme, Chain Reaction, Powering Supply Chain Innovation, speaks to the accelerating pace of change and the critical role we play in shaping what comes next. Innovation, my friends, doesn't happen in isolation. It's sparked by connection, it's sparked by collaboration, and that's exactly what this conference is all about, and that's what our association is all about.
On the first day of the conference, Premier Danielle Smith delivered powerful insights on supply chain professionals' critical role in Alberta's economic future. Her message was clear. You aren't just managing logistics. You're building Canada's competitive advantage. At the Legacy Awards ceremony, we celebrated the giants whose shoulders we stand on. These industry pioneers didn't just build careers, they built the foundation for Canada's supply chain excellence. The 2025 Supply Chain Canada National Conference reminded us that when we come together, we're not just stronger, we're unstoppable. Together, we're building the future of Canadian supply chain excellence. Join us as we continue advancing Canada's supply chain profession.
Thanks for that, Sarah. And thank you for watching that, guys. As you just saw, supply chain professionals from across Canada aren't just managing logistics, they're building Canada's competitive advantage. And the community you just saw, the connection, the collaboration, the support, that's the power of being visible, of being known, of showing up where opportunities are created. But here is the challenge many of us are facing right now. We all have the education, we have the experience, but we are invisible. We are applying to jobs and hearing nothing back. Our LinkedIn profile sits there collecting digital dust. Recruiters aren't finding us. And you're standing wondering, what am I doing wrong? The truth? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just playing by outdated rules. Here is what's happening right now in Canada's job market, especially in supply chain. 87% of the recruiters use LinkedIn to evaluate candidate before they even look at your resume. A complete optimized profile is 40 times more likely to attract opportunity. And companies are competing for supply chain talent, but only if they can find you. And here is the kicker. With unemployment sitting around 7 to 8% in Alberta and across Canada, you're not only one job searching. Every other candidate is watching the same YouTube videos, sending the same cold messages to the hiring manager, doing the same thing. And that's not going to make you stand out. But what we are covering today, that will. Today is all about stopping the invisible job search and starting to build a LinkedIn presence that makes recruiters come to you. And that gets me to introducing our today's expert. To walk us through exactly how to do that, we have an absolute expert joining us today. Sara, please welcome Sara Struthers, Manager of Industry Engagement and Career Services at C.A.R Continuing Education and Professional Studies, and an ICF certified career coach. Sara has spent over 15 years helping professionals navigate career transitions, and she's not just talking theory. She builds real results. At SAIT, Sara developed their career services program from the ground up and has worked with 300 plus mid-career professionals achieving a 72 to 75% placement rate. That's not lucky. That's strategy. Sara is ICF ACC certified, meaning she is trained in the kind of coaching that unlocks clarity, builds confidence, and creates actionable career plans. She specializes in helping supply chain and operation professionals position themselves strategically in a competitive market. She understands what hiring managers are looking for. She knows what recruiters are searching for on LinkedIn, and she knows how to help you show up in those searches. Today, Sara is going to show you exactly how to transform your LinkedIn profile from a digital resume to nobody reads into a recruiter magnet that opens doors for all of us. So without taking any more time, Sara, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Jigger. Oh my goodness. I'm blushing. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I really appreciate it. And I want to say welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. And like Jigger said, spending your Saturday with me. I really appreciate it. Jigger's already explained who I am, but I am the manager of industry engagement and career services for SAIT's continuing education. And for those of you outside of Alberta, SAIT is a polytechnique based here in Calgary. So when I'm working with, and I want to stress too, most of the students that I work with or learners that I work with are mid-career professionals. So it's folks that are out of post-secondary. They're sometimes just trying to find their first job, but often it's people who are working, who have worked maybe 3 to 5 years, who are looking for a promotion, looking for a next job. They've been laid off of their industry, and they're trying to find a new challenge for themselves. And when I work with those type of people, a lot of the challenges they see with LinkedIn, I have here on this slide. So it's either writing a headline, or their about section is only a couple sentences, and they're not really sure about those search optimization words. So in today's session, we're going to go through, let me just change that slide, some of the most important things about LinkedIn. And it really does matter right now, because there is a supply chain shortage in Canada. It might not always feel like it, depending where you are, but it's been going on since before COVID. Before COVID, so around 2018, 2010, 2019, when you graduated from post-secondary, there was 6 different jobs waiting for you. So this industry was really struggling to find people to fill those roles. During the COVID areas, if you will, we saw a ton of supply chain disruption. I don't really need to tell you, you're living it. You probably are familiar with that as well. And that boom of e-commerce also caused a bit of a lack of supply chain skills in the market. Today, according to Manpower Canada, there's 77% of companies in Canada are struggling to find people. And Jigger touched on this, 87% of recruiters are hunting on LinkedIn every single day to find those people to fill those positions. And today I'm going to show you how to make your LinkedIn stand out. So LinkedIn isn't a social media, it's a search engine. When recruiters are searching for, like, I don't know, inventory an analyst in Calgary or any other part of the country, LinkedIn doesn't just randomly show them profiles, it runs a competition. So every single profile gets scored based on the 5 factors that are listed on this slide. Number 1, keywords. Keywords are king. If your profile doesn't contain the words they're searching for, LinkedIn, it's sad to say, will think you're irrelevant. It's that simple. Completeness of your profile matters. LinkedIn boosts profiles that look finished. So that means a professional photo, a filled out sections, proper skills. Incomplete profiles will go to the bottom of the list. Activities give you a boost. So it doesn't mean that you have to be a LinkedIn influencer or a LinkedIn specialist overnight, but the small things matter, like updating your experiences, connecting with former clients or colleagues, liking a relevant post. That tells LinkedIn that you're active and you're engaged. Connection strength is huge. If you're connected to someone at a company, LinkedIn will push your profile up when recruiters are looking for candidates. It's because they're going to assume that your profile might be a referral. So it's really important that you have strong connections. And the best thing about this, that this isn't a secret, LinkedIn wants you to know the rules, because better profiles mean better matches, which makes everybody happy. You find a job, recruiters find the right person. So let's learn about them so you can start using them. So here's what matters on your profile. Not everything is the same. The number 1 thing is your headline. That's going to be your success. And those are 120 characters that are right below your name. Your about you and experiences come next. And then your photo is also something, and skills are pretty important. So we're going to be looking at all of those different factors. So first, before we dive into the content, let's talk about the visual, your first impression. The profile photo and your background image are often the first thing people will notice when they go to your profile. They form an immediate judgment about your professionalism. So for your profile photo, you should try to have a professional headshot. It doesn't have to be a professional headshot. but it should be something that looks like you from the neck up, from the, I guess, the chest up. It doesn't mean you have to be in a three-piece suit. You can be business casual, and good lighting is something that's pretty crucial. So if you can get your picture taken in your natural light, that's going to be best. Make sure you're the only person in the photo and that you're not cropping a group of people out. It has to be professional. For the background photo, you want to customize it. So think about supply chain relevant. So maybe there's a clean warehouse shot or a logistics imagery or data visualization. Just make sure it's not distracting your profile and your profile still has a chance to stand out. I was working with a client. He was doing a lot of different train logistics. So he had a train yard in the background of his photos. So those kind of things, it adds a little personal touch. You don't want to, though, put pictures of you on vacation, just something that's makes sense to you. So for here, if you live in Calgary, even a picture of the mountains can touch. It's a little personalization. It still is professional. If you're in the maritime provinces, maybe a picture of the ocean or like a ship on the ocean, something like that can add to your profile. The reality is, fair or not, people are going to make a judgment about your professionalism based on that photo, and that's done in 2 seconds. So you want to make sure those 2 seconds count in your favor. The headline. This is the single most important line of your entire LinkedIn profile. It shows up in search results. It appears when you comment on posts. It's the first thing recruiters read. So it's really important that we get this right. Most people make the mistake of using LinkedIn's default headline, which is just your job title and the company that you work for. But that doesn't tell us anything about you and actually why someone should care about you. So if you look at the below example on this slide, warehouse supervisor at ABC company, it's generic, it's forgettable, and it gives us zero insights into their expertise. But now if you look at the after version, it's the same person, same role, but now we know they specialize in operations, they're trained in Lean Six Sigma, and they've achieved measurable results. And they don't work with specific systems. So when I was recruiting, let's say I was looking for someone in a warehouse management experience, I want to know what the profile is that I'm clicking on. So here's the formula that works: your role, your specialty, your value proposition, and your keywords. So your role is either your current job title or your target job title. Use the exact same languages from job postings you're interested in. If every job posting says logistics coordinator, don't put shipping specialist, put logistics coordinator. Your specialty is what makes you different from every other person in your job title. So maybe you're an inventory person, the continuous improvement person, the vendor management person. What's your superpower? That's what you put. Your value proposition is the results you deliver. This could be cost savings, efficiency improvements, error reduction, whatever you've achieved. Even if you're newer to the field, think about projects from school or previous roles where you've made a difference. Your keywords are the same terms recruiters search for. So these are like the search optimization words. So they can include systems like SAP or warehouse managing systems, methodologies like Lean or Six Sigma, or functions like demand planning or procurement. The magic is fitting all of this into 120 characters. And it's kind of like writing a haiku. Every word has earned its place. But the best part is you can update your headline anytime. It only takes 30 seconds and the impact is immediate. And when I was recruiting, because I used to do some recruitment years before I joined SAIT, that headline, if it was different than the generic, would make me look at someone's profile first. So this is super valuable for you, and it's something to really work on to get it right. And here I've put down some examples of some strong supply chain headers. So you can look at these, maybe take a picture of it, and try to use this if it could help you write your own headline. Next is the About You section. And this is where you get to tell about your professional story. And this is where so many people get this wrong. There's too many times where it's either blank or people just write 2 sentences because this piece can feel a little overwhelming. The sweet spot is this professional storytelling that shows both your competencies and your personality. So you want someone to read this and think, I want this person to be on my team. You don't want someone to read this and go, wow, that seems kind of nice, but this person is kind of robotic because they had AI write it. This is somewhere where you want to be able to shine. And here's the structure that works. It only has to be 4 paragraphs, and each paragraph should be about 50 to 75 words. And I'm going to walk you through what each paragraph should look like. So paragraph 1 establishes who you are professionally, your experience level, your industry focus, and your current situation. This immediately orients the reader, the recruiter. It lets them know who you are. Are you a recent graduate, eager to start your career? Are you someone with a few years of experience looking to specialize? Are you transitioning from one field to another? Be clear about your professional identity. That's important. Paragraph 2, it's about what you do and what you want to achieve. This is where you get specific about your expertise and include some concrete examples about numbers. Even if you're new to the field, you can talk about relevant projects that you've done, some coursework that you've done recently, or any transferable experiences from one role to another. It could be anything. Show how it can relate to this new field that you're looking for. Paragraph 3 is often the hardest one for people to write, but it's where you show your personality and it differentiates yourself from other people. So what's your approach to work? What do you believe about supply chain management? What do you bring to teams that others might not? This is where you sound human, if you will, while staying professional. And paragraph 4 is your call to action. How should people connect with you? What are you looking for? Are you open to networking? Are you open to information interviews? Are you open to job opportunities? Make it easy for people to know how to engage with you. The total should be around 200 to 250 words, and that should be enough to tell your story without losing people's attention. And here's the key. It should include those target keywords naturally woven throughout your About section. And it should read like a human wrote it, not like you fed like a job description into an AI search engine and asked them to create it for you with key words. You have to make sure it looks like you wrote it yourself. Now, I'm not saying you can't get AI to enhance it, but write it first. It has to sound like you. People can tell the difference when a person's written something and when AI has written something. So I'm going to show you an example. I have 2 actually. One's a recent grad that's on this slide, and the next slide is going to be someone with more experience. So notice how this person acknowledges that they're new to the field, but immediately pivots to capabilities and enthusiasm. They mention specific courseworks and projects, and they include relevant systems and methodologies, and they show that they understand what supply chain is all about. They're not apologizing for being new. They're positioning their fresh perspective and academic foundations as assets. The personality comes through in phrases like passionate about optimizing. And I believe the best solution comes from understanding both the data and the people. It sounds like a real person, not a resume. And notice how the keywords are woven through naturally. They're in italics, just here so you can spot them, but they read naturally in context. So I'll just pause and give you a chance to read this a little bit before I move to the more experienced professional. This person leads with years of experience and specific achievements. So they've included concrete numbers like 12% cost reduction, 96% delivery performance, and 97% inventory accuracy. They show both technical expertise and leadership capabilities. But notice that they also include their philosophy. Sustainable improvements happens when technology, processes, and people align. That's personality within the professionalism. So both of these examples, the person who's just starting in their career and this experienced professional, follows our 4-paragraph structure. Both include keywords naturally woven throughout their about section, and both sounds like human people would want to grab a coffee with. Like they're just a more professional version of themselves. The key here is finding your voice within this structure that I've provided you. The about sections should sound like you, but just with better grammar and more focus on that professional accomplishments that you have or that you're hoping to achieve. So now I'm going to move to the experience section. So this section, I find honestly, it's where LinkedIn profiles kind of fall apart. People list their job duties here instead of showcasing the impact. So it's often just jotting down in bullet form what they do. But here's the thing, recruiters don't really care what you're supposed to do in your job. They care about what you've actually achieved. And this is where that C.A.R method, the context, action, and results, will help you. So every bullet should tell a mini story following this pattern. So if you look at the before example, so managed inventory, that really tells us nothing. That every person in inventory management manages inventory. It's really basically you're showing up to work. Like this is what we all know that you do. But if you look at the after version, manage $2 million in inventory across 3 warehouses, implemented cycle counting programs that improved accuracy from 92 to 95.5%. The context is the 2 million inventory across 3 warehouses. We understand the scope. The action here is implementing a cycle counting program. We now know specifically what that person did. And the result is the accuracy improvement from 92 to 98.5%. We can now see the measurable impact that person has on their job. So for those of you who are early in your career and you don't think that you have results to share, think about what you've done in past in capstone programs or in group projects. Did you create a new tracking system? Did you estimate the time that it saved in some of your group projects? Did you help with a process improvement when you were doing an internship? What was the outcome? Did you train, for those of you who are new in your career or in the mid-career professional, have you trained a new team member? How many people did you train? How did they perform? All of this is relevant. Internships, projects, everything counts. Part-time jobs count when you're just starting out. Just make sure, what just happened here? Just make sure that you include the numbers whenever possible instead of just improved efficiencies. You have to make sure that you show what those numbers look like, because you want to avoid also weak verbs in this section. So implemented, reduced, improved, coordinated, analyzed, streamlined, those are very strong verbs to have the front of your bullet. The weak verbs that you want to avoid are responsible for, involved in, helped with. You want the verbs to show ownership and initiative. And like I had mentioned a little bit before, put numbers. If you don't know exactly, you can put approximate. It's okay to say, I don't know, approximately improved productivity by approximately 15% if you don't have the exact numbers. That way you have an idea of what you do, but you don't know exactly what it is. Putting that in will still be super helpful for a recruiter when they're looking at your work, and it gives them something tangible that they can hold on to. So your skills sections. Most people treat the skills section like an afterthought, but it's like you're just throwing random things that you've done and hoping sometimes it will stick. This is a massive mistake because LinkedIn's algorithm actually uses your skills in their primary search filters. And here's how it really works, and it can be a little bit complicated. So your skills are ranked by endorsements, and LinkedIn shows your top 3 most prominent skills to recruiters when they're doing searches on you. So these 3 skills, so your top 3 skills should be your primary keywords. So if you're trying to find a job, the primary keywords are in job postings, those first 3 skills that the company is posting in the skills that they're looking for section, those are the 3 skills that should show up. So if you don't know exactly what you should have, take a look at a number of different job postings and see what skills you see show up the most common, what skills are usually the top 3, and those are the 3 top skills that you want to have in your profile as long as you have them. And make sure it's in the same order. And you're going to see probably when you're looking at different job postings, it's going to be the same 3 to 5 skills that show up on the top 3. Sometimes they change positions, but it will give you an idea of what recruiters are looking for. So those will be those search optimization skill words. And then you'll have the terms that recruiters are actually looking for. So make sure you're using the same terms that recruiters are, so that are in those job postings when you're doing the skills. So if you want to be like an inventory analyst position, inventory management better be in your top 3. If you're targeting logistic roles, logistic coordination should be there. This isn't random, like this is strategic so that you can get bumped up when recruiters are looking for your profiles. LinkedIn allows you to see 10 skills. So from skills 4 to 10 are your supporting competencies, the technical skills, the functional skills that prove you can do the job. So this is where you have SAP, or maybe processes like lean manufacturing, functions like vendor management belong there. And those you can see also in job descriptions. They're the ones at the bottom of the list in the job descriptions. And these are the ones that most people should have for those jobs. Now, here's the strategy part. You can actually reorder your skills based on managing endorsements. So let's say you're looking at these job descriptions and you've gone through it and you're realizing there's these top 3 skills, and one of those top 3 skills are showing up number 8 for you. How you can move that number 8 skills to be in your top 3 is by asking people to endorse that skill for you. And then you're going to remove this endorsements of the skills that rank lower. So that means you have to reach out to 5 people for each of those top 3 skills, so 15 people in total, and ask them to endorse you in those skills. So that means you have to go to LinkedIn and reach out to people to endorse them. So who do you ask? It could be former colleagues who've seen you use those skills. If you're new grad, it could be someone in your class, like classmates who worked on relevant projects with you. It could be supervisors who vouched for your abilities. If you're working, it could be clients or vendors that you've worked with directly. But ask them to endorse you on that skill specifically. And here's a template message you can say. You can say, "Hi, Bob. I hope you're doing well. I'm updating my LinkedIn profile and really would appreciate if you endorse me for whatever specific skill. I'd be happy to return the favor. Thank you." The vast majority of people are happy to help. They just need to be asked. What you could also do is endorse them first, and then they often will return the favor without even having to be asked to do that. And that's kind of how you do it. So that's how you play the game on LinkedIn. So look on the skill banks. I have listed a couple of different skills here. These are some terms that show up most in job postings for supply chain. Choose one, choose like whatever you have, and start getting that skills on your list. Because these are the search optimization tools that recruiters will look for when they're doing it in. So I'm not sure if you realize how recruiters do. Most of them will have a LinkedIn seat or a recruiter seat on LinkedIn, and they'll put in a couple of words and they put in the city or the area that they're looking for, and a number of profiles will show up. So those profiles, somewhere in the profile, will have these search optimization words. And the first thing they see is your picture and the header that we talked about. So the people with the most interesting header, I always picked first. And then I went in and looked for the skills that they had. So this is why all of this is kind of important. And when you get that endorsement, it bumps you up to the top of the list. Okay. Now the networking. And networking, I know for a lot of people is very uncomfortable. The word networking, I think for people, I will put them in a cold sweat. It makes them unbelievably uncomfortable, and it makes you feel like I have to do small talk with people I don't really know, and I just like, I don't like it, and it doesn't feel natural. But doing networking on LinkedIn is way less pressure and is a little bit more natural for people to do. So the way to start is with people that you already know. And this makes it easy because you've already have that base, that relationship base. So reach out to people that went to university with you, people that were in the program that you were in. Make those people like some of your first connections. You've shared experience with them, you have some common ground, and you have a similar career trajectory. They don't have to be your best friend. It could be just anybody and everybody that were in your classes that you recognize, you know the name. Reach out to them on LinkedIn. Former colleagues from any job that you had, supply chain related or not, are also really great connections, because that could include people who shared retail jobs with, who maybe you worked at a restaurant with, who you had an internship with, whatever. Those are great connections. And professional relationships, they don't have to be in the same industry. You could have people, you could be in supply chain and have connections that work in manufacturing, who work in healthcare, who work in post-secondary. They're all valuable. And honestly, supply chain covers every industry you can think of. So it's important to have people from different industries. I'm just going to pause. Your network is going to be an opportunities network. They're going to share with you new opportunities that are coming up. So you want to have your network as broad as possible. because you never know who in your network knows somebody who could be hiring. So, and it's important. That's how you find out about jobs that don't show up on job boards, that hidden job market that everyone talks about. It's through networking. Someone in your network could be hearing about a job. They could post something interesting in an article that they find interesting. You can learn about a company you're not familiar with, who could be hiring, and you want people to think about you when all of these things come up. So I think people should have, first of all, you should have in your LinkedIn 500 connections is kind of the base to have more eyes on your profile. It's not about having 500 connections at once. That could seem overwhelming. So if you want to start by doing 5 new connections a week, that means 1 a day. That's how you build momentum. And as you connect with more people will show up for you to connect with. And it will help you find more people. Sorry. So a template message could be, hi, Julie, I see we're both from whatever post-secondary that you came from, our supply chain alumni. I'd love to connect and stay in touch as we build our careers. Thank you. So you notice that this message, it establishes common ground, it explains while you're connecting, it keeps it brief because LinkedIn only gives you 200 characters, and every word actually counts. So for former colleagues, it was like, hi, Bob, it was great working with you at company XYZ. I'd love to stay connected as we both grow our careers. Thanks. And for someone, like if you've gone to an industry event, which I also recommend everybody does, hi, Conrad, it was great meeting you at the Supply Chain Canada event last week. I enjoyed our conversations about like inventory optimization. I'd love to stay connected. Like the key is to sound genuine and specific. Generic, I'd like to connect messages, like just I like to connect or no messages won't get you the connection. So messages that show you actually look at their profile and reference a shared experience will get what you want done. Here's the thing too, don't automatically ask for a favor. Don't automatically say like, I'm connecting with you because I saw a job from the same company that you work at. Can you be a referral? You can't do that. The goal is to build a relationship over time. So connect first, engage with their content occasionally, and build something familiar before you need anything. Your network is an investment in the future, in your future self. So start building it now before you need it, and then you'll be prepared for when that time comes. Next, let's talk about the open to work feature. There's a strategy involved here too. There's 2 versions of the open to work feature, and people get both of them wrong. So version 1 is that, the big green banner that says I'm open to work and everybody on LinkedIn can see it. And then the other one is a private recruiter only signal that people using LinkedIn Recruiter can see. So if you're currently unemployed, if you're a recent graduate, or if you're actively open to a new job, use the green banner. And I know sometimes it can feel uncomfortable and you're worried that it makes you look desperate, but studies show it increases your profile views by 40%. And the whole point is to get eyes on your profile. So visibility is exactly what you need when you're looking for work. So again, don't worry about looking desperate. Employers understand that people are looking for work, especially in Alberta when the unemployment rate is 7.6%. I'm not sure what it's like in other parts of the country. Employers understand that people are looking for work. If you're currently working, but you're exploring different opportunities and you really don't want the company that you're working for to be aware that you're exploring different opportunities, you could be not actively looking for work, but you're open to the right opportunity if it comes to you. You can use the recruiter only setting. Your current employer won't see it, but recruiters will know that you're open to a conversation. Here's what most people mess up with this setting. LinkedIn asks what kind of roles you're interested in, and people put generic terms like management positions or analyst roles. That's completely wrong. Use the exact job title from postings you actually want. So if you want an inventory analyst role, put inventory analyst. If you want a logistics coordinator position, put logistics coordinator. Be specific, because LinkedIn uses these preferences to decide which recruiter will see your profile first. Now, location matters also. Don't just say, like, if you're here in Calgary specific. Say Calgary and you're open to the surrounding areas. If you'd consider relocating, let people know. If you're whether you need to be on site, you'd consider remote work. Like, you have to let people know what you're open to. The more specific you are about what you want, the more likely LinkedIn will show you to recruiters looking for exactly that. So specificity is absolutely important for this part. The start immediate expectation. So the start date. Immediate means, like, every recruiter knows people have to give a 2 weeks notice in this section. So they know you're working and that you have to give 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you can click immediate if that's the case, because they know that means within the 30 days when they talk to you. If you're finishing school in 30 days, put immediate. If you're finishing school in a year, don't put immediate. That's just something I want you to know. Salary expectation tab, that's optional. If you want to include them, but be realistic, because if you put something that isn't based on your experience level, a recruiter is just going to flash by. So if you don't know what salary expectations you should put, leave it blank, because there's nothing worse than having a salary expectation that doesn't match the job. That's going to make someone not look at your profile. But not having anything there, the person will still look at your profile, but it's up to you. So understanding that job search setting, whether it's the green one or the one for recruiters, that you're passively looking for opportunities, it's strategy. The more thoughtful you are about, you configure your preferences, the more likely you're going to get matched to the more relevant opportunities, instead of just random people sending you stuff that you're not interested in, or spam recruitment, quite frankly, which is starting to become a problem on LinkedIn, on not just LinkedIn, everywhere. So here are some features this slide is kind of like your secret sauce slide. This is giving you features that not a lot of people use that can help elevate your LinkedIn profile. And I've actually have some of these on mine already, and it has completely worked. So LinkedIn has like a dozen features that most people only use like 20% of them. And these are the four hidden ones. So the first one is creator mode, which I actually have used, and it has increased the amount of people looking at my LinkedIn profile. I have over 4,000 people on my LinkedIn, and I'm not a creator. So if you click creator mode, if you enable this, LinkedIn is going to treat you like a content creator, even if you never post anything. So it's like a hint. Your profile gets boosted in search results just for clicking creator mode. People can start following you. Companies can start following you can start following companies' pages. You get access to different analytics. So what are the results of just putting that creator tab? 5 times more profile views. And all it does is take 30 seconds to do it. The second is profile viewers. This one is strategic gold. It shows you who has looked at your profile in the last 90 days. Think about it. These are the people who are really interested in you enough to actually look at your profile and check out your background. They're warm prospects for networking. So you can go onto the profile viewers. You see someone who's profiling you, send them a connection opportunity. If someone from your target company is viewing your profile, that's, like I just said, an invitation to connect. If a recruiter is looking at you, they're probably evaluating you for something. If someone in your industry checked you out, they might be a valuable connection. This feature turns profile views into networking opportunities. I use this feature every week. I'm always curious to seeing who's interested in, who's taken the time to look at my profile, and I always send them a connection request. The third is companies following you. This, I think, if you haven't been doing this, start doing it. You can follow companies without connecting to individual employees. So that means you can see any updates that the company makes on your feed. You can get notified about any job postings that they have, and that you can stay current on company news. It's like having intelligence to your target employers without being obvious about it. The other thing is, let's say a recruiter from that company is doing a search and they're looking for people. If you follow that company, you get boosted up into that search because they could assume that you're a referral. So just like if you connect with someone from that company that you're interested in, if you don't have any connections within that company and you're interested in that company and a recruiter is doing a search, because you follow that company, you get boosted up into that jobs when they've done the search to find people. I highly recommend that you have about 20 to 30 companies, if you're looking for work that you're interested in, that you start following. It's absolute gold, and not a lot of people know this is what's going to happen, that this happens. The fourth thing is micro-credentials, LinkedIn Learning badges. These show up as feature sections and demonstrate continuous learning. Some of you just finished, you may have been out of post-secondary for a couple of years. It's always important to show relevance, that you're continuously learning and try to stay up to date into your field. Things are changing so rapidly, and these badges are like credibility boosters for recruiters. So whether you've been in supply chain for 20 years or 5 years or 15, whatever, it's so important to go back. And it doesn't have to be at a post-secondary, although as someone who works at a post-secondary, we would love it for it to be at a post-secondary. LinkedIn Learning has some amazing badges and short-term courses that you can take that will help boost your credibility. The thing I want you to take away about this slide is that most people don't know these features exist. And when you use them strategically, they make you stand out from the crowd immediately. So it's important for you to start working on this. Don't be afraid to click on that creator mode. It will get you more visibility, and you do not have to be a creator to have that. Okay? It takes you 5 minutes to set this up. The impact is going to be huge. Okay, so now I've given you a lot of stuff. I've talked a lot about different things that you can do to improve your LinkedIn. Now you need to do action. Knowledge without action is worthless. So you can have all the LinkedIn strategies in the world. If you don't implement, it will change nothing. So I've created a 30-day kind of plan for you to help you implement what I've just walked you through. So your first week, it's all about the foundation. Get your visual brand right with your professional photo and your background. This could mean like having a buddy take a picture of you and you schedule that in, and that it's just like the chest up. And then you have to start thinking about your headline formula. Get that implemented. Don't overthink it. It can always be refined. I have done my headline like 4 times since September. It doesn't have to be perfect, but every time you change something on your LinkedIn profile, it improves your chance with the algorithm. So once you have your LinkedIn profile ready, remember to update something. So the header could be that thing you update once every 3 months. It will help get you on the top of the algorithm. Okay. And then finally, your About You section should happen in week 1. This one is going to take a little bit of time, that 4 different paragraphs that you should write. So maybe block 2 hours on a weekend and just get it done. Trust me, this is gold. Week 2 is about the optimization. So go through each job in your experience section, rewrite your bullet points using that C.A.R method. And this is going to take longer than you think. So don't try to do it all in one setting. First, you're going to audit your skills strategically and make sure your top 3 skills match what recruiters are searching for in your target roles. So remember to look at job descriptions for that and then start reaching out to people. Week 3 is that networking activation. This is where you start building those strategic relationships. Start off small. Your goal is to get 20 new connections, maybe 5 per week. Remember, though, you need about 500 to get a lot of eyes on your profile, but start small. It doesn't have to be 500 all at once. So 5 people a week. Start with folks that you know, alumni from your post-secondary, former colleagues, professional contacts, could be a professor, could be anything, and use those message templates that we chatted about earlier. And then your final is your advanced optimization. Upload 2 to 3 pieces to your feature section if you want to. Configure your open to work settings thoughtfully, and then create that or enable that creator mode. So companies following, and set up companies for you to follow, your target companies. Gold, gold, gold. The secret is the daily habits. It really only takes 5 minutes a day. I have LinkedIn on my personal phone and my work phone, and I'm constantly looking at it when I have breaks at work. It could be, liking someone's post. Commenting is always better than liking, because if you are interested in a company and they post something, companies never look at people who like their post. I guarantee you they're looking at people who comment on their post. So those little 2 or 3, like 5 minutes a day that you can do will help get more eyes on your profile. And it will help you with this whole algorithm game that we're trying to get. We are trying to get ahead of. Like I said, they're not major time commitments, but they keep you active in LinkedIn, and that's the key. So build your relationships gradually. The algorithms are going to reward consistency, and relationships develop through regular light touches rather than sporadic, intense efforts. At the end of your 30 days, you'll have completely transformed your LinkedIn presence. Your profile will be optimized for search, your network will be growing strategically, and you might start seeing some new opportunities coming your way. And this is actually leading me in to something I am so excited to talk to you about. So at C.A.R Continuing Education, we developed something called My Career Platform, or My Career Mentor, sorry. This is a career coaching program designed specifically for mid-career professionals. This is for people who have some work experience, who may be laid off, who may be looking for work, who may be in a current job, but they're trying to figure out what their next steps could be and aren't really sure how that looks or what they can do to make that happen, who might be thinking about doing a pure pivot and they don't know what that could look like or where they can go or how their skills can translate into different job opportunities. You could be a supply chain person, maybe in the private sector, and they're trying to get into the public sector, and you're missing skills, but you don't understand how your skills transfer into the public sector and what skills it is that you're missing. That's where we come in. So this program has two streams. It has a career mentoring stream, which is where we work one-on-one, looking at your LinkedIn. So we would work with you on what I just talked about, on helping you improve your LinkedIn profile, work on your resume, work on your personal branding, work on networking, understanding the type of work environment that works best with you. And then we have the career coaching stream, which is where we've brought in International Coaching Federation qualified coaches. That's the gold standard of coaching. And they help you uncover what it is that you truly want to do. And they do that by asking you really thoughtful questions that challenge your assumptions, that make you look at a problem or a situation through different lenses. So you have what we say, those aha moments. So in the career mentoring stream, we are telling you what you need to change, what you need to do. We're giving you feedback. In the career coaching, you are coming up with what you're going to do next. We're going to ask you questions. We're going to hold you accountable, and we're going to help you create your goals and the things you need to do to achieve those goals. So there's two different streams. What we're offering is a 20% discount for Supply Chain Canada members. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. Everybody has access to this. And we can work in the evenings, we can work during the weekends, in some cases during the days as well. So we're here to support you while you're on this career journey, whether you're not really sure what you want to do, or if you figured it out and you know what you want to do, but you just need help to get there, we are here to support you. So how you start off is you scan this, you can book a free 30-minute consult. It will be with me. We have a conversation about what you're looking for, what you're hoping to achieve, making sure you're going to the right stream, and then you'll get that 20% discount after that conversation with me. So whether you're booking a 1-hour session or 3 1-hour sessions or 10 1-hour sessions, every single one of the bundles that we have, you will receive that 20% discount. And that's it for me. I think we're going to the Q&A. There was a lot of talking. So hopefully you found that helpful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. That was incredibly actionable from the headline formula to the C.A.R method for experience sections. I know everyone here has taken away some immediate next steps. And as you mentioned, now let's open it up to your questions, guys. Please continue sending your questions through the Q&A button or the chat box. We'll get to as many as we can. We still have about 25 minutes in the session, so we have got a good amount of time to cover all of them. We have received a few of the questions already. One of the questions being from Bill. He's asking, what is the professional association view on the ethics of connecting with current suppliers on LinkedIn? Now, this question was queued for a professional association viewpoint. So maybe I'll take a viewpoint on it, and then Sarah, you can add on to it. since we are asking for a professional association viewpoint with Supply Chain Canada, I'll share the Supply Chain Canada viewpoint. It's a great question. The current suppliers on LinkedIn and connecting with them, is it inherently unethical? Um, it's a professional networking platform, LinkedIn, after all. So, what really matters is how those connections are managed. Professionals should always remain objective, follow their organization's conflict of interest policies, and make sure those online relationships don't influence or appear to influence any business decisions at work. I think transparency and professionalisms are the key principles at the core of it. Your take on it, Sarah?
I think you should. Like, if there's suppliers, yeah. It just and follow the companies, follow whatever. It just gives you more information about what's going on, and it boosts your profile as well. So yes, I would say yes, definitely reach out to those folks.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a really good question, Bill. We have received a few other questions too. So Jessica is asking, can you go over on how to turn on creator mode? I don't see it on my LinkedIn.
It
I'm sure
might
it's a
depend
hidden
on
point.
what leads you have. Um, Listen, if you want to book that free 30-minute session, I will walk you through. It's not going to charge you anything. Book that free 30-minute session, and I will walk you through on your own LinkedIn where you can find it. I have it on my LinkedIn. If you want to look on mine, you can. I don't know if it shows that I have a creator mode on it, but let me tell you, when I started, I had, I want to say, at least 2,500 people following me. I have over 4,000 people following me,
Wow.
and it's because I put that creator mode. Like, I've had it on for, I want to at least a year, maybe a year and a half,
Yeah.
and it has boosted the amount of people that look at the posts that I have created since I put the creator mode. I actually have more people seeing my posts than State's continuing education actual LinkedIn profile. And my buddy who runs it gets so angry. He's like, why? And I'm like, creator mode. So
Yeah.
I will show you. Just book a 30-minute section. Look, my calendar will pop up and you can book it with me. Our conversation might be 10 minutes, but I'm happy to show you and walk you through how to do it.
Yeah, Sarah, that's great. I have it turned on too, and the difference that I saw in terms of views was amazing. And it also, what the change it does is then when you share your network profile, it would show up to follow you instead of connect with you
Yes.
first.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm out in networking events and I'm connecting with people on LinkedIn, I always then would probably just guide them to then use the drop down menu and connect with me rather than just following me,
Yeah.
because I would like to see them too. So that was one of the changes that is observed as we turn on the creator mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So great question, Jessica. We also have another question from Natasha. She's asking, do we need to use the premium version or is the free version just as good? I'm sure it's a hot debate when using LinkedIn. So Sarah, would you like to take your viewpoint on it?
I have the paid version. I know not everybody can afford the paid version. I like it because it allows me to connect with as many people I want and allows me to view as many profiles as I want in a month. The non-paid version, you're maxed out. I can't remember how many it is, but so it's really up to you where you're at. Like, I'm lucky that the state will pay for the paid version that I have. So some of your employers would pay for it. It depends on how you're looking for it. You can maybe pay for it for a certain amount of time while you're looking for work if you think it's going to be valuable for you. If the free version is good, like, it's still going to be super helpful and you can do some of the things that we've talked about. The paid version just allows you to work with it a little bit more. So it's really, it's I'm not saying that the free version is bad. The free version is fantastic. It's just really, if you're able to pay for it, I would. There's different options that you can have. But yeah, if you can't afford to it's still a good platform to use.
Sarah, just following up on that, I would like to put you in the center on that. If Say doesn't pay for your LinkedIn Premium, would you
I
still
would
have
pay
it?
for it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you see
I
the
would.
value in having that
But
premium.
you know, I would for a bit. Yeah, I would. I mean, but I've also had the non-paid version, and it drove me bonkers because I couldn't see enough profiles.
Yeah.
So I ended up paying for it. But yes, I would pay for it.
Okay.
There's
And
so
is
many
that
different options too. Like they have so many, like some of them are really expensive and some versions aren't that expensive. So yeah.
and is that, Sarah, because you are in the career coaching space? Is that one of the reasons why you would want to pay
Yes.
for it? And the folks here are supply chain professionals, they would be on the other side of it, where they would be applying for jobs or reaching out to recruiters and connections.
That's a great comment. When I used to work in recruiting, and I had my personal, so my work, I had a recruiter seat. On my personal, I still wanted, like on the weekends, I wanted to see some people or I searched for people. I still paid for it. When I was doing recruiting and sales, I paid for it. I have the paid version because of my industry engagement aspect of my job. So I need to see different companies. I need to see who works at different companies, but it's gold because I get to see the names of people. So when you're looking for people to connect with, it's not necessarily the recruiter that you're looking to connect with, it's a hiring manager. So the manager of that department. So in order for you to find people to connect with, you need to be able to see a certain amount of profiles a month. So that and it's not always the recruiter, because the recruiter doesn't make the final decision. The hiring manager makes the decision. And often the hiring manager will tell the recruiter certain people that they want to see in, like, that are shortlisted for a job as well.
Yeah. No, great points around that. And just to get that visibility, one of the questions have been asked is by Kin. They are asking if it is a good idea to actually post any created content on your LinkedIn. Like, for example, if you like to do analysis or a hobby and you post your analysis or on any news or events on LinkedIn, is that
Yeah.
a good thing to do?
100%. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I have a video on mine too. Like anything you have, videos, like things that show your skills, it adds to your profile, and it's something else for the recruiter to see, and it will set you apart from other people. So absolutely, I would do that. And thank you for
Awesome.
bringing that up, because I didn't. So thank you.
Yeah. And guys, some amazing questions. Please keep on sending in those questions. One of the questions from Mark is, how can we connect with you for the 30-minute call? Could you please roll back the slide deck for everyone to scan
Sure.
that
And
QR
it's
code?
on this one too, but oh no,
Yeah.
that's the supply chain. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Here you go. So if you use this QR code and it pops up to our website at SAID, if you scroll just a little bit, there'll be a button that says book a consult, and my calendar will pop up and then you can just book a time with me.
Yeah. Another question from Roma around how to use the creator mode. So Roma, you could sign up for this free
I'll
30-minute
show you.
consultation
And
as
you know
well.
what? You might have to pay for it. So I'll double check and make sure
Yes.
it's available in the free version too.
Yes, because another question that Roma asked is it only just for LinkedIn Premium or is it
It
for
might
the free
be,
version as well?
it might
Um,
be, which is why I have it. So
I
I'll
don't
double
have
check.
it paid and I am still signed up as a
Oh, you
creator.
do? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I am pretty sure that even without LinkedIn Premium, you could access that feature, and that would just boost up the visibility. So that's a great feature to use on the free version as well. Um, so yeah, we have received a few amazing questions, and as guys send in questions, I was able to take some notes myself to ask some of the questions that I was curious about. So, about one of the questions that I get a lot with interacting with the folks in networking session is how to get your profile photo right. So at Supply Chain Canada events, we sometimes do professional headshots free for all the attendees. But a lot of them are not able to take advantage of it. So their workplaces, maybe in as a supply chain professional, they are working in warehouses or they're working in operations environment where they are not in their business attire daily, not even in business casuals, maybe. How should they approach with their profile photo for their LinkedIn? Should they get a professional headshot, get paid, or attend any of our events to get it? Or is it a good or is a good quality photo in work attire acceptable too?
Yes, a good quality photo in work attire is acceptable. Take advantage of supply chain when they have free headshots available.
Yeah.
If you notice the picture of me at the beginning of the slide, that was AI actually. So there's some nice AI options, and I just sent a ton of different pictures of myself in non-professional attire. Like I was outside at a beach and whatever. It will create an AI headshot for you. So that shot that you saw of me was AI created.
Would you like to name a platform
Oh
that people
God,
could use?
listen, what I might try, I can't remember, but I
Yeah,
used it
it's very, very
last summer.
enticing. Yeah.
But there's so many out there. Like there's so, and they
Yeah.
weren't that expensive. So if you
Yes.
want to use an AI option,
Yeah.
use
I've
AI.
used Remini. Remini is one of the platform that does AI photos too. So you, as you mentioned, you just dump in a bunch of your photos and it would pick in all the characteristics of your face to create a professional headshot. So AI photos are in trend as well. And if you're not as photogenic or if you're not comfortable clicking your photos, just like
Exactly.
me and Sarah as well, um, you could use any of those tools and get those created too. So yeah,
And
it's a
it
wonderful time
made,
to be.
it made me look a little bit younger too. So I was like, I was all happy with my AI picture.
That's nice. Amazing. Yeah. And then other aspects of LinkedIn that you touched upon was headlines for your career, for career changes specifically. So I wanted to ask for someone transitioning into supply chain, because we have a lot of folks who are studying at, say, doing their SMT programs, they're changing careers. How should they write their headline? Do they focus on their current role and expertise that they have, or do they change their headline to target the supply chain role that they are looking forward to in procurement, logistics, or wherever they want to be?
Especially if you're studying, I would put what the role that you want. And it could be like future, logistics
Aspiring. Yeah.
coordinator, something,
Yeah.
and like current student, future supply chain or logistics coordinator. I make it snappy, make it fun, but yes, like definitely put what you want to be, because that's recruiters are going to be looking for those roles. So that's what I would do. And if you are like a semester away from graduating, assume that you're graduating, put the role that you want already. You don't even have to put future, because recruiters are going to be looking for early grads, and this is the role that they're going to be looking for. So I would do that too. But yes, definitely the role that you want.
Nice. And that's for mostly the students, right? Now, the ones that you specialize with are mid careers, right? So if we have any of those folks in here today, what would your advice be for those folks?
For which one? Sorry, the
So
pivot.
for the mid-career professionals that are
Oh yeah,
changing their
and
jobs,
you're pivoting. I would
yeah,
look at. I would that one's a little bit tougher. One of the things that I would do is put the role that you're looking to go into and have one of those transferable skills. you'll find that, but looking at the different job descriptions, seeing what is like the one that shows up in every single job description, and have that in part of your headline, so it will be pulled in to the from the search that the recruiters are doing. And then, is there anything that you're doing now that could tie into what the future job, the switch that you're looking for? Have that in your header too. But this is something we can help you with more one-on-one. Even we can chat about it in that free consult, but that's something that would probably require an hour with someone. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, no, that's amazing advice. Now touching upon the next part that you covered was the about section. So you showed us some detailed ones, and those are great. But I have received conflicting advice in my personal experience. Like some people say shorter is better, others go longer and more detailed is better because you are able to showcase it in a better way. What's your take in for specifically for supply chain professionals? Like, what would be a good balance?
I think 200 to 250 words is not too long.
Hmm.
You know, nowadays, people, how do I say this? 5 years ago, people would be willing to look at a video that took 30 minutes. People now are only looking at videos that are like 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So you don't want it to be too long. That 200 word like space is enough to keep people interested, but not too long. 2 sentences or one paragraph to me is way too short because it doesn't give a sense of who you are. This is a chance to show, to highlight yourself. I know it's really hard for people to put yourself on display. Nobody likes to feel boastful, but this is the time to be boastful and get people to know you. Like, this is recruiters. When I recruited, it wasn't the first place I looked at, that's for sure. I saw your picture, I saw your name, but I read your about you section. And it's almost like the summary section, but more. The summary section from your resume, but more. Like, this is a chance for me to get to know who you are. So it's really important for you to spend the time and have that 200 to 250 word. But you don't be longer than that. 500 words, no one's going to read it. 200, 250, that's like the spot you want to be.
Yeah, no, that's great. And would you suggest using ChatGPT or other platforms to structure your content better? Like you dump all your content in it and then let it structure, or does that feel inauthentic?
I think write it first, and then have ChatGPT. I like Claude AI for this type of thing,
Yes.
honestly. And Claude AI has a free version. It's fantastic. I would write it first and then have them tweak it. But the problem is that sometimes it doesn't sound like you. I'm finding AI is really annoying me lately because I'm like, this isn't what I mean. Like, it's not getting exactly what I'm trying to say. So if you write it out first, clean up your grammar, clean up like special wording, and sometimes it can help you say what you want to say better. But don't have it write it from scratch. You write it first and see if there's a way for it to improve, but you don't want to lose the you in it, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes AI, when they write it, it doesn't sound like you. So you still want you to come out so that people have a sense of who you are when they're reading it.
Yeah. No, Sarah, when you say that you get frustrated seeing the content that it develops, saying that that's not you or that's not the kind of quality you expected, a lot of folks that develop or write the piece, they are actually amazed at how good the chatbot writes. And then that's like an elevated version for them. So maybe like for those folks who are not able to write as good, dumping it all in and seeing if it generates the kind of content that they feel is showing themselves the best. If it works for them, then maybe that might work for them too.
Just have to be careful that it doesn't embellish what you've actually done.
Yeah.
So yes, but I still think even those folks who might not write as well or whatever, write it first. It's still, because what it's improving is you, it's your thoughts, it's what you feel. It's you talking about your accomplishments, you who's talking about your own superpowers, what sets you apart. So you know that best. And then it could help you improve the word structure, the sentence structure, or the grammar, whatever. But you know you best. So put it down and have it fix maybe what you're writing, or I don't know, how do we say it? Polish what you've written first. But I think you should, you know what you've done, you know what makes you unique. And it has to, you can see how passionate I am about this. I think you know you best. And so I think it's best to put your thoughts down on paper and have it polish it for you.
Yeah. And I'm sure that so we have covered all the profile sections here. Now the hot question is to network on LinkedIn. The times are such that online networking is in trends. And so I wanted to get your take on sending connection requests to the people that you don't know, like without feeling like you're spamming them, because it might come off to some as if you're not knowing someone, you should not be doing it. It's borderline spamming someone or coming across as desperate.
No, absolutely not. This is LinkedIn. You're supposed to do that. I actually got 2 requests today before I even started, and I didn't know any of them. One lives in Toronto, one lives in the United States. I look at their profile. I'm like, yeah, this is boop, yes. So I'll go through LinkedIn while I'm at night watching TV, and I will go through and see if there's anybody I should connect with. This isn't where you're going to find, this isn't best friends. This is professional connections. The person that followed me from Purdue University, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I looked at some of their posts and I'm like, wow, I'm like, will I ever have a coffee with this person? Never, but I might learn something from something that they posted. Yes. And so that's the point. It's not about, you're not always getting something personal from these people that you're connecting with. Like, it's not always going to be deep. 9 times out of the 10, it won't be, but they might post a job position from someone that they know that you would never have been aware of if you hadn't connected with those people. So, I mean, I have most people on my LinkedIn are not people that I know personally. I don't know 4,000 people. Like, that's just what LinkedIn is. So, I gave you a couple of those templates that you can use. And it's just like, hi, I saw your profile. I thought it was really interesting. Would love to connect. It could be that simple. I connect with people, like I said, at night watching TV, and just send a simple little note. Interesting. I loved your last post. Would love to connect. Ooh.
Yeah, I think, folks, so that myth is busted, that you only send requests to the people that you know. I have about 4,000 connections on LinkedIn, right? And I do not know everyone in person. I have not met all of them in person, or I don't know them personally, but we share synergy. So with my background, my career in past, I would have a few folks from there that I would have connected on LinkedIn, maybe a chat, maybe a coffee chat, a virtual chat or something. So yeah, you would not know every one of your connection on LinkedIn, but it's completely fine. And that's what the platform is for, right?
Yep.
So awesome. Yeah.
Connect with alumni from your post-secondary. Like,
exactly.
That's the best connection to have. You may not graduate 5 years before you, but they both have something in common. So
yes. Yeah. I think you touched upon that really great. So one of the tools that LinkedIn has is to search up people based on where they studied before. And if I put SAIT as a filter, just because I studied from SAIT, I would be able to connect with folks that I share something with in common, and I would be able to share synergy with them in whatever thing that I'm looking to pursue ahead. So that's, again, a very good point that folks could take away and maybe use it. So yeah, I think that gets us through all the questions that we had today. So yeah, thank you, Sarah, for taking all those questions, and thank you everyone for joining us today for this amazing session. Now moving on to what we have upcoming. So the recording of today's session and Sarah's slide deck will be emailed to all the registrations within next few days. You'll have everything you need to reference and optimize your profile. What's upcoming is the session number 2 on January 24th, which is the coming Saturday, and that is going to be on how to master the ATS. So get your resume past the robots, and it's amazing, and it's happening next Saturday. So that's gonna be on January 24th, same time, same place, and same joining link. And these are a few of our workshops that are upcoming. So feel free to check supplychaincanada.com/events to sign up for any of these workshops and webinars that are upcoming. We would love to see you there. For the session number 2 that we are having next Saturday, Sarah would be showing all of us how 75% of the resumes are getting auto-rejected through ATS before even a human ever gets to see them. So I'm sure that's going to be a very amazing session for all of us to know how to cater better resumes and to apply for jobs. So that's coming up, and we would like to thank you on behalf of Supply Chain Canada for joining us today as we wrap up. Sarah, thank you again for breaking down LinkedIn optimization in a very practical, actionable way. And thank you to all of you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Your engagement and your questions matter a lot to us. We'll see you back here on January 24th. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend, guys, wherever you're joining us from Canada. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.